This is Scott from Scott Shot Media. Today is Thursday, March 11th, and this is what is happening on the mountain. Traffic is probably the biggest news today. Traffic and weather combined. Currently, all mountain highways are under R2 restrictions, which means you have to carry chains. You will drive with mud and snow tires in good condition. And otherwise you have to put control devices, they call it. Chain control is in place on State Route 18 from Vista Point on the front side all the way to Smarts Ranch Road on the back side, State Route 330 down at the lower passing lane, and State Route 38 at Mill Creek Ranger Station, and State Route 138 at Pilot Rock. Winter storm warning is still in effect until about 10 o'clock tonight, but we still are expecting between 5 and 10 inches of new snow through tomorrow afternoon, about a 50% chance through tomorrow afternoon. So we'll probably see this winter storm watch warning downgraded to and then in effect through tomorrow afternoon. Little to no fire risk in the next 6 days, but due to some drying out conditions, we can see a low fire risk, especially at the lower elevations below the snow line on the mountain. That puts us still in a moderate fire danger. The snow is great, but we need a lot more in order to increase the fuel moisture content to get us out of the moderate fire danger on the forest floor. So we'll still see those restrictions in place. We will remain at an average fire risk for the next 4 months. There were 7 crimes reported on the mountain yesterday, and no new net COVID cases reported in the last 2 days. There were 3 new cases added, but we also lost 3 in other communities. They were reallocated to the proper locations, and so that gives us a net 0. Which is great news. Too early for today's numbers, but we will post those separately as soon as they come out from the county around 12 o'clock. So that leaves us with about 21 active cases on the mountain, or 21 cases cumulatively reported in the last 10 days. Traffic, no huge incidents going on right now. We have seen a lot of traffic accidents with this storm, a lot, especially in the Big Bear Valley area and on the 38. And as a reminder, you need chains coming up the mountain. You also need to have them on when you're coming down, unless you are in a 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive with good tires. And we see a lot of these accidents happening after people get up on the mountain, they take their chains off, and then they drive around and try leaving the mountain without putting them back on again. So remind your neighbors, remind your friends, remind your visitors. Chains are required unless you have the all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive with mud and snow tires. Chain control is in place all the way at Vista Point on the front side of the 18, all the way up to through the rim, all the way to Smarts Ranch Road on the 38 from the Mill Creek Ranger Station, all the way up and over Onyx Summit through the Bear Valley, all the way to the dam on the 138 from Pilot 23 on the 189 as well. Oh, and did I mention the 330? 330s from the lower passing lane right now. We have a break in the storm, so we might have a chance to plow the roads a little better. We might see those chain control points move up a little higher, but we are expecting another round of storms coming in this afternoon. 70% chance. We're looking at maybe 5 inches to 10 inches from Crestline to Big Bear, and maybe even up at Green Valley Lake, maybe another 14 inches of snow. So it's still coming. It's just a slight delay, and it should linger around all day tomorrow. About a 50 to 60% chance of snow tomorrow through the early evening, and then the storm will blow out, leaving behind pretty nice weather. Slight warm up. Saturday, Sunday should be a nice day to get out and snowshoe, cross-country ski. Go visit the ski resorts. Hazardous weather. Again, we have the warning in place through tomorrow. I'm not sure why this graphic didn't update. We are still seeing as the storm blows out, maybe some gusty winds, a nice weekend, and then some more winds Monday. But that's not a storm coming. That's just a Santa Ana-like condition. So a high pressure system moving in, which will cause some drying out, but also some pretty fair weather on the mountain. That drying out will leave us with a continued moderate fire danger on the forest floor. Don't be confused. This is something that doesn't change very often. This only changes a few times throughout a season because it does take a significant amount of fuel moisture. What we do change is our predictions. And so this first graphic here is a updated daily, and it uses real-time information about wind and so right now we are at a little to no fire risk. In a week, we can expect to see the San Bernardino National Forest drop to a low fire risk. So this is for new fire starts and fire spreads. The Forest Service puts out a different graphic, which puts into place the restrictions that are in effect. So campfires, open flames, stuff like that. And so you can go to their website and find out what fire restrictions are in place when you're in the forest. And then we have a long-term forecasting that shows what we can expect for the next 3 to 4 months. And for the next 3 to 4 months, we are at a average or normal fire risk. We had 7 crimes reported on the mountain yesterday. I'll post this so that you can look on the map and see if there was any police activity in your neighborhood, what might have been going on. The one crime reported in Running Springs, nothing west of there yesterday. So mostly the Sugarloaf area, Big Bear City, Big Bear Lake, each had one. Lastly, as our impressive COVID-19 numbers, I'm sure at some point real soon we're going to just stop reporting them because no news is great news. We haven't seen, because this is a 7-day average, trailing 7 to 14 days old. This does not change very often. Getting to the point where most spread using the state's 4-tier risk system. Overall on the mountain, on the now, which is really good news. And as soon as the rest of the county gets there, we can start seeing additional things opening. And we are hoping to get some good news tomorrow regarding the county dropping down into red or substantial, and then the openings that go along with that. Over the last 2 days since the 8th, again, no new numbers reported yet today. We had 3 new cases reported, 2 in Big Bear Lake and 1 in Blue Jay, but we lost a case in Crestline, Forest Falls, as well as Twin Peaks, so that gives us a net 0, which is really, really impressive. We'd like to see that happen more. Bear Valley, you're under a moderate risk using the state's 4-tier risk system. 7 Rim community is still insubstantial, and we expect to see both of those drop real soon. We're in a 0.04% of all full-time residents having tested positive for COVID-19 since this started over a year ago. The county yesterday was at a 4.1, which is also really good. And so because these numbers are awesome, we hope to see the county remain in the red, and we have to be here for 14 days. And then once we're done with that, which hopefully will be tomorrow, then we can start seeing the county open up a little bit more. And the rest of the state and country has a little work to do. This was a temporary spike, and this is the reason why we like to use the 7-day average, trailing 7 days, because there's some daily peaks and valleys. We typically see small numbers reported on Sundays and Mondays on those days, and then by Saturday the numbers seem to peak up a little bit more. So we use an average to determine the state's and numerics based on 100,000 residents for our daily numbers. So we had 90 cases reported in the 0.1 for yesterday's numbers. So that is COVID 101 for you, your COVID lesson for the day. Like I said, if these numbers remain zero at some point in the near future, hopefully we'll just stop reporting on them altogether. But if you have any comments or suggestions, things you'd like to hear about, remember that we focus on public health and safety items. Media, or give me a text message. One of the best ways to get some updated information is our website, the Mountain Dispatch, or mountain-dispatch.com. And there's a place on the top of that where you can sign up to get a daily email. And so we give, not only are you getting updates on the breaking news, but also on our timely articles that we are writing that pertain to public health and safety. Of course, follow along on what is happening on the mountain on Facebook or YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope for late breaking news. You can follow us at Scott Shop Media. As the next round of storms roll in, we'll certainly keep you updated, as well as any traffic events or any other breaking news. Have a safe